Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys. Remember, not financial advice. Consult your own planner, a licensed planner. It's always good to consult a licensed planner. All right, let's see what's going on in the market. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Well, how about like that? All right. All right, guys. Well, look at that. I was looking at ULTY right before I came on air. It's good to see up 1.4% today. We're going to look at the divas here in a little bit, see which divas are behaving and which divas are acting like a diva. Well, the SPY is not acting like a diva today. The SPY that's a good looking chart right there. We have a bullish gap from a few days ago that's still holding, and a small gap on that day, bullish gap. Anyway, I can't really tell. My glasses are, I can't tell. Whatever. Anyway, gaps are good. Bullish gaps are good. Bearish gaps are bad. As long as they're open, a bullish gap that's open is bullish pressure on the market. Anyway, we'll darn sure take that. Didn't mean to do that. All right, let's go there. Look at that. Qs are behind the SPY on a relative basis. I mean, further distance off the most recent price action, price structure. Oh, well. Oh, well. But here is the problem. Well, it's looking better today, though. Gosh darn it, I can't see anything. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking really good. Hopefully this 80 area is low. Some people were saying we needed 75 or 70 to 75, which would be down here in this area. And maybe we still do, but for right now, we're going to try the bullish side of the equation. Okay, so let's look at some of these funds we follow that track Bitcoin. Here's Blocks. Blocks is only up 20 cents. That's not very good, considering it tracks Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's doing well. Let's look at ULTI. We'll look at the divas here in a second. ULTI is up about a third of a point. We've already checked ULTY is up 1.4. Good job. ULTY is up 1.4. That fund's been doing a decent job lately. And let's look at K yield. K yield's up even more than ULTY is. ULTY is up. It's, oh gosh, I'm sorry guys. I forgot I wasn't sharing the screen. I thought I was sharing the screen. When did I quit sharing the screen? Gosh darn it. Was it when the screen went dark for a second? I have these hot corners on there, where you can put it to a corner and it sends it dark, but I maybe need to take that off, that other monitor. My bad. Okay. Anyway, we're just looking at this. Everything's up. K yield's up more, but I'm going to do it again to see if that's what I'm going to try to recreate the scene of the accident, see if that is what it was. Hey Taz, what's up? I'm trying to recreate the scene of the crime. Okay, make everything go off. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It ruins okay, all right. Well, I need to fix that then. See, I'm just learning, just relearning. It's been so long since I've been in the Apple ecosystem. It sure is nice, though. It sure is nice. Okay, hey, Taz, how you doing there? Let's put your comment up on the screen. Miss you, Max and team. Yeah, it's Jeff, of course. Can't stay today. Sold off 2,500 K yield and added a GOOW. Started an AMDU at 3. Have a great, yeah. Heck yeah, Jeff. Thanks for stopping by, bud. You're trying to sell your K yield today. I'm trying to decide. I'm the worst to decide. Jackson, what's the matter with you? What do you want? Jackson, you should be good to go. Did you guys see what Kerr sent me? Did I show that to you guys already? Anyway. All right. Hey, Marcus. Yeah, GOW is doing well. I have the here's last night's daily factor. I have a bunch of stuff to you. Let's start with this. Let's start with the diversified divas because that's kind of what I'm into. You guys may not be as into this as I am, but anyway, let's trying to see if this is the most current one. Yeah, my eyesight is terrible. Yeah, I think it is. Let's do it this way though, just to be sure. Let me download it again. Let's open it up from here and make sure that is the latest and greatest copy. Yes, it looks like it is. So the prices on the chart were a little bit ahead of we were just looking at the prices here on TradingView. These are live prices. These prices right here delayed a little bit. Anyway, but still, this K yield was up more than everything. It's the relationships are still the same. It's just the market's been moving up, so that's good. Now you can see as far as the understudies go, you have Chippy up 1.6. Chippy's making all these other ones look bad. You okay, Jackson? All right. Chippy's making all these other ones look bad. Look, Chippy, out of all the divas, all the understudies, is the only thing besides the SPY that has a positive return. Total return. I mean, how did I miss the boat on Chippy? Anyway, you know me, I always talk about funds can be stable or whatever and safe. And so I love these funds that, that use 100 that are super diverse or whatever, but too diverse can be a bad thing. You want to be non-diverse in whatever the sector of the economy that's going up is. And lately that is microchips. And man, if you were in Soxy or Chippy, you're killing it. Anyway. All right. So let's see what's making these things move today. One of these had a huge, I think Oklo's up 12 points or something. Let's see. I'm going to have to do. Well, anyway, okay. So this is in the Alta universe. In the Alta universe, it looks like Southern Copper's up 4%. Lamb Research, LRCX. Let's look at that. LRCX is a big winner for Alti. Heck yes, look at that. Good job, ULTY, grabbing that one. That's a good one. ULTY has some of that. They also have some IRIN that's up 5%. Good job. Anyway, this fund's, doing well lately. All right. So now let's go down here to Blocks. Now Blocks is off a little bit today, and maybe let's see why. We can maybe see something. Bitmine immersion's down 2%. Is that? I still don't totally trust this sheet. So BMNR, right? Bitmine immersion. And this says it's flat. Oh gosh darn it! I hate when I never can trust this. Well, gosh darn it. So Jeff, you decided to stick around for a little bit. I thought you had to go. Anyway, it's good seeing you in here. You haven't missed any content lately. My content's been poor. I haven't been doing any. I've only been doing about half the content I was because of various reasons, or I've been traveling, or I've had computer problems. I haven't had an original piece of content in forever. I've got to get an original something out. So anyway, I'm getting a handle kind of on these computer problems, but anyway, all right. But if it's not, this isn't this stupid thing is good. This is a Claude problem. Claude is just giving me anyway. But the computer stuff's going better. But damn it, Claude. Anyway, I'm going to try to get on something other than Claude. I mean, let's just look at an old-fashioned spreadsheet. At least this works. Claude doesn't work half the time. All right, so we'll just go the old-fashioned spreadsheet. Like I say, at least we know this works. Let's look at the rolling total return. Look at that. There's that darn Chippy up there, up 7%. You can see Chippy's been positive for a long time since, I mean, you know, for now, to be fair, the SPY went positive back there also, and the SPY's been positive for a long time. But that's an example. That's an example of me being too caught or whatever. You know, the SPY, I'd rather have the SPY than Chippy because the SPY is more diverse. Well, it is more diverse. I'm sorry. More diverse is good. Gosh darn it. More diverse is good, but more diverse is, I'm trying to, gosh darn it. All right. More diverse is good, but you could be, a fund could be too stable. But anyway, Chippy's looking good. SPY, of course. Then we have Triple Q, and guess who's number 4? QLDY, down 2.88%. Hey, Taz, thank you. Yeah, I mean, this Chippy's is just on fire. Well, I mean, anyway, whatever. I have my feelings here. I don't have any, but I didn't even think about having. I did have a bunch of GPTY, but which had a lot of the same stocks that's in Chippy and did really well in it. So whatever. All right. But then after the top 4 here, then we have K yield. You know, this is a rolling total return. This is since the last day of October. K yield's down 6%. That's including dividends. That's including NAV. That's everything. This is updated live. There's GPTY. GPTY is not that bad of a fund. A lot of people don't realize how good of an ETF GPTY is. Me included, obviously, because I sold all of it. But I had a nice profit in it. All right. WPay down 13%. I have some of this. You know, I love the ones that are the losers. Look, I have WPay. I don't have any LFTY. I sold that, but I have WPay. I have ULTY, and I have blocks, and I love them. So what does that say about me? Oh well. I mean, I love what they're trying to do, but I mean, we need the market to cooperate. Oh well. All right, so that's that. Let's look at just a daily return. I can't believe the AI version can't do this, but yet I can do this. I mean, and this always works here. On a daily return, just looking back at it and just looking at all the changes as a day, that looks pretty good. But you can see lately, since about the first 2 weeks was shaky with these funds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The first 14 trading days were some gigantic down days. And then the next, 2 weeks had some big down days too. But then the last couple of weeks, by and large, has been pretty good on these funds as a group. And, some of them have had some huge days, like ULTI was up, 9.8% that day. Right here we had blocks up 6.7, ULTI up 7.3, blocks up 5.7. So anyway, that's how that chart looks. Yes, XPay. So here's the deal that's interesting about XPay. So they set their dividend based on the price and I didn't realize this until I started looking into XPay. I just don't like the idea of selling stock when you could sell options, because you can only sell stock once. In theory, you could sell options, in perpetuity. I mean, in theory, but anyway. But when I was looking into XPay, yeah, so that's what they do. They set the 20% target is set, but it's set by the price at the last day of the year. So, they they divide it up on the last day of the year. So anyway, it's great for people that are trying to budget. Um, but it could probably have, I'm trying to think, there could probably be other unintended consequences. If the last day of the year is the high of the year and the market craters, kind of like what happened in 2022, or 2021, the end of the year was basically the high, and then the market went straight down from there. You're going to be paying a huge dividend on the decreasing base of assets. You're going to have NAV decay in that circumstance. But anyway, that's what happens when you sell. But of course you're going to have, because you're selling part of your asset. So of course your NAV is going to decay. When you do covered call strategies, you're selling part of your assets synthetically and virtually, but not always physically. Sometimes you can, So anyway, but yeah, XPay is interesting. And when I started diving into it, there are some other things they did that's interesting too. It's actually a genius strategy when I looked into it. I made a bad video about it, or I said, a long time ago, about a year ago. And, but when I look, so what they do, they buy a deep in the money option or synthetic. I forget which way they do it. It doesn't matter. But whatever that is, and that gives them full replication. If the market goes up 20%, they're up 20%. That gives them full exposure to the market. But it just costs a fraction of the money that it would cost to buy 100 shares of the SPY, to buy the shares. So they tie up maybe 10% of their money. They could also use futures. There's numerous ways they could do it. They tie up a small amount of their money, put the rest of their money in T-bills, and then depending on what the market's doing, sometimes they can roll their option position to take a profit, or sometimes if they don't want to do that, they can just pay from the T-bills, because they set the target at the start of the year, and depending on what's happening, they can either give your money back to you this way or this way. Anyway, it's not the worst strategy I've ever heard. Now that I think about it, as far as for tax and retirement, it's not. I like the ideas of selling options when you can. Anyway, Mike's here from the Philippines, so I better get this content going better here. Okay, so what can I do here? Let's look at the old index, maybe the index buffer report. So the index buffer report, there it is. All right, wonderful. All right, so the red line is how much the parent's moving up. So in this case, the SPY's up, half a point. The blue line is what the high yield assets up. So the only high yield assets that's outperforming is SVOL and ZVOL in SPY land. SPY land is here, Qs are here, and Russell and bonds are over here. So now on underperformance, we have that NLSI. Now we haven't talked about that one much. Are you guys liking that one? I was just hoping, dude, I think that would be a fine fund if they would pay 12%. At 5%, I just don't know. That's that, isn't that long short fund from Neos? Well, anyway, it's down a little bit today. You can see everything else. Gosh, I can't see worse. I can't see worse. Anyway, in the Q land, as far as beating the parent goes, Skeptic, I'm glad you like it. If you like NLSI, it must be a good one. But you know me, I'm not a huge yield chaser, but I really think there's an amount out there that these funds can pay almost without consequences. And depending on the strategy, the ones that use the lightning spread and the more sophisticated strategies can pay 25, 30, not without consequence, but without significant consequences to the NAV. But then there's a lot of these that pay 14 or 15, seemingly without any consequences, but without significant consequences to the NAV. But I'm saying I want to push that number as high as possible. 15, 20, 25, 30. K yield is kind of pushing that paradigm. QLDY is pushing that paradigm out. But I just was hoping that NLSI would push the yield out a little bit further. That's just me. Okay, back to what I was talking about. So let's see, as far as outperforming the NASDAQ goes, look at this, ULTY, heck yes. Heck yes, that's a monster performance from ULTY, up 1.3, outperforming everything on the chart other than Chippy. I mean, but Chippy's killing it. Oh. Credit where credit's due. LFGY is up 1%. So is Blocks. So is K-Yield. Just had new prices coming by, and ULTY is now up 1.26, but it's still killing it. Heck yes, ULTY. Love to see ULTY catching their footing here. It's not just because they switch strategies or the strategies. It's that's part of it, but it's maybe 10%. But the market catching its footing is the other 90%. But it's sure helping Blocks and ULTY and ULTI for that matter. Anyway, on the bad list here, what do we have? We have, look at WPay. WPay, what are you doing to us? Why are you down today? Anyway, look at Granny. Granny and Mago, GRNI and Mago need to go in the Divas. I'm going to redo the Divas, and I think I'll redo the Divas and start a new contest every month. So instead of just going from October 31st, be able to maybe look at that, but also look at that month to date so we can pick up new funds that we want to put in. But I think Mago is definitely understudy status. It's not a diva because they can't just put in whatever they want. It's not a hedge fund strategy. It's a hedge fund strategy kind of, but with a set portfolio, which is good. Granny is the whole thing. Granny could actually be a diva, kind of. Granny could have. So anyway, I'll work on adding those. All right, I was trying to get some content going here since Michael showed up from the Philippines. We got David in the house. Yeah, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Yeah, I know the content's been irregular and poor, and I haven't been on Discord much either. Last week I was traveling a lot. I was busy doing family stuff. This week I didn't have an excuse. Last night or 2 nights ago, I was going to do a daily factor, and I just fell asleep. I just didn't feel like it. So anyway, but the new computer and the new everything's energized me. We'll get the new year. We'll get some new content coming out soon. Okay, so Marcus is reassuring me. He is saying it should be closer to 12%. Good morning, William. Okay, well, 12% is fine. Perfect. So why do you, if you guys, I wonder why somebody can't, so they have funds out that totally protect the downside, 100%, and it's from Innovator. Why hasn't somebody put that totally protected downside structure with some type of option structure and made a protected downside, totally protected downside where you still got premium? And I guess the reason is because then free money would have to exist. I just answered my own question. So no, that's not going to happen. And I guess there are funds that are doing kind of that. Does anyone have any triple QH or something like that? I need to decide by the end of the day I'll need to put some cash to work before the market starts selling off. I'm just nervous about the market, and I have some cash, and I've been talking to you guys about it. They're going to buy probably some kind of auto callable, but also maybe a buffer fund, maybe half auto callable and half. I just don't know, but I need to decide by the end of the day. I mean, I guess it could be an LSI. I mean, I don't have a problem with that one, but I mean, I'm kind of tempted to sell some of my ones that haven't been doing as well as I'd like and replace some of that. I want to buy Mago, but I don't need any more risk right here. So I'm thinking about selling some of my risky ones and adding Mago, which is crazy, but just replacing something else that's probably also not doing great. And probably Alti, probably taking a little Alti off the table, even though it's been doing better, and replacing maybe with a little Mago. I just love the uncapped upside to the Mag 7. Or maybe blocks. Maybe I should do that with blocks. But I'm thinking about getting Mago into the lineup somehow without adding risk. Maybe 5, 6, 7% Mago, just substitute for something else that's just as risky. But then with the, and I have 10% cash on the sidelines. Then with the sidelines cash, get a auto callable, and or maybe some type of. I'm kind of curious about these right here. Let's go look at FinViz. I'm getting increasingly curious about these funds right here. I was going to ask you guys if any of you guys have any experience with any of these. Something like this. The triple QH. So this one pays, God, I cannot see. That one pays 9%. The downside's hedged, but it's not like they just hedge it where you can't lose anything. I mean, heck, it dropped from 54 to 44 in April. I mean, on NAV, if you weren't going to sell it, that's fine or whatever, but it's not like you can't make it immune from dropping and give yourself a dividend. You can either take a dividend or you can make it immune from dropping and not have a dividend, I guess, like those other innovator funds do. But like I say, I don't think options can do 3 things well. You can do 2 things. This thing gives you a little bit of a premium, 9%, or it has been anyway, on a monthly basis, and protects your downside somewhat. So really it dropped from about 52 to 44, the worst. Just down 8 points on 52, 16%. That's about what the market was down. So what kind of hedge was that? But some of these funds, it needed the market to drop further. Maybe if the market would have dropped another 20%, it would have still only been down 16%. I mean, I don't know what their how far their buffer is. And I think this is a laddered fund. I think they put these on every month, so it just depends. Anyway, but I really like the idea of that. Yeah, so let's talk. So Marcus is talking here, KIQQ, right? Or yeah, Crane shares, and this one just came out the other day. This one's interesting. I mean, I think this one's going to be kind of like triple QH, or but yeah, this one's really interesting. I've never had any Crane shares before. I keep forgetting. I look at so many of these. Is this good? Yeah, this is going to pay a yield too, because it says high income. Okay. Well, man, maybe I should get some of this. I don't know. It's fun to have cash, but the first quarter's here. I should have done my rebalance at the end of last year. I've just been putting it off. I keep thinking about getting 5% salty here, just because the prices are so high. And just because I'll rebalance again at the end of the first quarter if we get a first quarter pullback. But anyway, I think I'm just going to go with the auto callables instead, or buffers and auto callables. I think I'm just going to do it that way. All right. So what are you guys talking about? So Jeff is still here. So Jeff is selling his WPay. I think some people have been disappointed in WPay. Because I've heard that. I'm disappointed in his performance, but I'm not. I don't think it's a fraud or whatever. I think it's working like it's supposed to, from what I can tell. But I'd be if you guys have any evidence to the contrary, let me know. We can look at it. Yeah, I want to see KIQQ work also. I do not have UNHW fish. All right, so fish is say UNWW. Gosh, I can't see yours. UNWW. Look it on Drip Calc. Full drip, 400 a month. UNW. Okay, well let me look it on somewhere else instead of Drip Calc. UNWW is not showing up on FinViz. Oh, HW. Okay, I got it. The thing the drip calc doesn't factor is what happens to the nav. But yeah, but based on what has been happening, I mean, I haven't even thought about this one yet. What is that? Gosh, 45 cents. 30. It's paid 4 cents, and it's about, so it's probably going to pay 30 or 40% on that one. Gosh darn it. So what does drip calc say? Drip calc says drip calc says 400 a month of UNHW, $10,000. Well, how much did drip calc say you'd make? Anyway, but I think if drip calc, but just based off, you just look at that. If you look at the past performance and extrapolated what this is doing now forward, you'd make $1 jillion because this has steady nav, the nav steady or up, and it's paying a good yield. So if drip calc just looks at this and figures out that you get a 40% yield with steady nav going forward, you know, that'd be awesome to earn 40% a year. All right, so yeah, Crane shares, I should have known, of course. I just haven't thought of them much in the covered call world, but I mean, Clip is covered calls, and yeah, and of course, K-Web is also Crane shares, right? And yeah, so anyway. So, Michael, you a new one? No, you're not new. I've seen you around here before. I think I remember your name. So, COYY, it's killing you. My advice would be, and it's bad advice, not professional, and my account is flat in a time when the market's up 10%. So I'm underperforming also. So probably do the opposite of what I say. But my advice is get the ones that are, you know, that are have multiple stocks in them. Oh man, I hate to see that though. The fund to funds, you know, you could get. I mean, my advice would be, and I know you can't go back and do it again. My advice would be to get WPay. Now, WPay is not doing great either. WPay has exposure to CO, to Coinbase, and a bunch of other stuff. And if not WPay, you could get WiMAX, or if not WiMAX, WiMAG. But I think these single stock ones are cool when you put them with about 20 other ones. But like I say, it's probably bad advice. But or it's not intentionally bad advice, of course not. But I bought a bunch of single stock ones and I figured because I had like 5 of them, the 5 of them together would be diversified. When I first put money to work in the high yield funds, and it wasn't even mine, it was my family's, and it was anyway. And people are watching me, you know, thinking I know what I'm doing, and I buy like 5 or 6 single stocks because I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna make my own little fund, right? And I had AMDY, I had XYZY, which was called something different at the time. I had Misty Mafia for life. I had NVDY, of course, because why not NVDY? Why not? And I had a couple of others. Oh, Coney, of course, Coney, CONY. And then I forget. And then I had one other one, Tesla. I don't know if it was maybe Tesla. Yeah, I think it was Tesla. So I thought that was a pretty good bunch. I thought it was a pretty good bunch, but I got it right when the market was at an all-time high last December. And then by April, all of those were down 30, 40%. I mean, all of them. And they weren't diversified at all. Anyway, so but then from then I swore off, and now I only get things like GPTY. And so when I sold those, I bought GPTY, I bought LFGY, I bought ULTY, I bought blocks. I bought ones with multiple ones, and I did a lot better, and I could sleep better at night. All right. Fish sold out at WPay. Yeah. Professional, but yeah, good point. Definitely unlicensed. Drip count does show. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. So I was looking at drip count the other day, and you can build in some stuff. You can even build in that you think the dividend's going to decrease. Yeah. So drip count, but I've just seen some unrealistic things on drip count. But anyway, but yeah. All right. See you Saturday. What are you? I guess Jeff's finally out of here. Okay. Well, so I need to get back to my regular schedule. So tomorrow I'm definitely going to do the top 20 ETFs of the week, and I'm definitely going to put out some new content this weekend. No more slacking off. All right. I think I'm getting the hang of this. I'm starting to really like the just the way it handles multiple Google accounts yet. I haven't really figured it out, but I'm working on it because I have stuff spread across a couple of different accounts. You guys been, what is this for? You guys been happy with the dividends this week? It looks like blocks just paid today. I can't really read it though. 13.4. It looks like QLDY paid, and it also looks like I missed one because they also declared Wednesday. Gosh darn it. Okay, well, I'll go fix that. So actually QLDY is doing better than what's indicated on here. Let's just look at that real quick. This is easy to look at. QLDY, because of the holidays, sometimes one week they didn't declare twice, and then they had an extra one. It looks like they declared on the 29th. So they had the 24th, the 29th, and the 31st. No, this week it's only been one. Friday, I didn't miss it. So they had X Day last Monday for 18 cents, and then last Wednesday. And then they went all the way to today, and they skipped. Okay, so I think maybe because they had an extra one, or the days got messed up. Anyway. The multi-touch, I mean, I've got to get a trackpad. When I get a trackpad, I'll never complain again. You'll never. It's hard to do a multi-touch on that. I mean, you can a little bit, but all right, guys. Well, barring any other questions, I'll let you out of here. We got DJ in the house. Marcus is saying any interest in the TDAC, and I mean, not for me right now at this point, just because I'm not trying to put on risk. I'm trying to find ways to take it off. But after the market pulls back, I mean, yeah, those would be awesome. I mean, I totally missed the boat on those on T-Spy. I didn't like it at first because it only paid 12%. I like the ones that push it 20, 30, 40 and up, but it doesn't always work out. But I missed the boat, and then he upped it to about 14 or 15% by selling a little bit of stock, and I just totally missed the boat. T-Spy's been one of the more solid performers. Thanks for being here, DJan. So it looks like DJan bought a little TSYX and TDAX today. That's good to see. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. I will talk to you in Discord. All right. See you later.